So I think we are studying physical properties of metals. Am I right, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in that we studied already around 6 physical properties. Am I right? So the first
Yes.
physical property we studied, metals are hard and have high tensile strength. Second one, metals have high density. Third one, metals are lustrous in nature. Fourth one, metals are malleable. Fifth one, metals are ductile in nature. And the last property which we studied in yesterday's class, metals have high melting point and boiling point. Am I right? All of you? That is. So if you see that metals having high melting point and boiling point, so again there is also a exemption. So there are two metals who is liquid state in summer, and even if you put in your palm, they will converting into liquid because their melting point is less than is our body temperature. So that is the metals we used to called as gallium and as well as what? Cesium.
CCM.
So whose boiling point is, whose melting point is less than our body temperature. So as soon as if you put in the palm or hand, they will be converting into liquid state. So, but generally we'll say that metals having high melting point and boiling point. So there is a metal which is very well known to us, which is called as tungsten. So if you notice it, tungsten. So tungsten is having a melting point of almost 3380 degrees Celsius. So because of this, you can see tungsten, we will use it in manufacturing what? All of you?
Filament.
Yeah.
Ornaments.
Manufacturing of designing of filaments and as well as designing of filaments of electric bulbs and many other heating devices. So electricity already we studied in physics already we discussed heating effects of electric current, practical applications of heating effect of electric current. So now this is what about high melting point and boiling point. So the next property, metals are good conductors of electricity. So that is what is our next one. Metals are good conductors of heat, of course, heat, and this is electricity. So let us take now, if you all observe very carefully, we are having many metals. So most of the metals, they are good conductors of electricity. What is the reason behind? Again, the same thing. Anybody? What is the reason? They are having something excess. Can you tell me? Due to the presence of what, guys? Free electrons. Okay. So because of free electrons, the metals are good conductors of electricity. So if you notice it here also, the order of electrical conductivity of different metals, of course, all the metals are conductors. Generally, the metals are good conductors of electricity, but all the metals does not have equal conductivity. Do you understand, Ra? Everybody? So the best conductor of electricity, if you take silver, okay, physics we studied or not? Silver
Yes.
having lowest resistivity, followed by copper. Copper is followed by, you can take, okay, AU, gold you can take it by aluminum take it by, okay. So like this, you all notice it. So there is a order for that. So this is what we used to call as electrical conductivity. So what is the reason behind electrical conductivity? Everybody, different materials, all of you. So if you take the best metal which will be conducting the electricity is actually silver. But silver wires we are not using, as I already taught you. What is that?
Costs.
Yes.
It's very
Okay. So that is what it is. So if you notice it, there will be order because of it is expansion and as well as it is availability is less compared to aluminum and as well as copper. So we people will prefer it. So that is the order of electrical conductivity. But all are good conductors of electricity. So this is how you can remember. So silver is the best conductor of electricity followed by copper. That is why many wires and the water boilers are designed from copper only. So we know that what is the reason we are using copper, many water boilers and all, even refrigerators nowadays, copper coil is coming. Because of course silver is a good material, good conductor, but still we won't prefer silver as it is very expensive and availability is very, very low. So we'll go with the next metal only mostly, like we can take boilers, say, and many wires and all. That is what? Copper. Next one, AU. We all know AU. What do you mean by AU, guys? Anybody?
gold.
Gold. Understand? Next one is what?
Aluminium.
Aluminium. And the next one is what?
Tungsten.
Tungsten. The symbol of tungsten only we used to call it as what?
W.
Yes, double. Okay. So tungsten followed by
Mercury.
mercury. Okay. So please write it. So you can even class 7th and 8th, you can conduct the activity that you can prove that metals are good conductors of electricity. So it's not required that. So simply we can. So we are not kids to simply do that, this, that, and all. So just remember the property. Next one. So this see, there is a exemptions always. Okay. So whatever we are studying, there will be exemption. So just you have to remember that. Next. Metals are good conductors of heat. Metals are good conductor of electricity. Now here, metals are good conductors of heat also. So of course here also same. So metals allow heat to pass them very easily. But if you notice it, but all the metals do not have same conductivity. So the heat conductivity we used to call it as basically thermal conductivity. What is that, guys? All of you?
Thermal conductivity.
Yeah, thermal. Thermal means in the sense of heat conductivity. The conduction of heat is only we used to call as conduction of heat we used to call as thermal conductivity. So, okay. So the conduction of heat in metals, again the same thing, due to the vibration of atoms. Due to vibration of atoms and motion of free electrons. Motion of all electrons, everybody? Motion of free electrons. So, when we heat any kind of metal, so that atoms which are presenting in that, atoms are not displacing their position, but they are vibrating. So, if the atoms are vibrating to and from motion, and the electrons will started moving, so that they will conduct the electricity, they will transfer the energy from one place to another place. So that is what we used to call as, what we used to say, conduction of, yes please, conduction of heat. Okay, so if you notice it, for this also you might be see lower classes, if you all observe very carefully, so you have been done one experiment that like one side of the glass rod is started heating, and if you touch it another side, automatically all of you open page number 38, you can see that NCERT book, all of you open. So they have given there is activity that take an aluminum or copper wire, clamp this wire on a stand as shown in the figure number 3.1. All of you check it, everybody. Metals are good conductors of heat. To prove that we are having that activity. All of you observe very carefully. Please make it. Everybody? Yes? So what is the conclusions? What is the conclusions are you people are expecting from that? Anybody can tell? 1 minute. I will just go with an NCERT book so that I'll download. Have you all opened page number 38? Please respond, Rah. Yes? See, every word will be reflecting there. You can notice it. Whatever we are studying, so you'll find it. You will find it in the book. So it's not that namesake we will study. So it is chapter number 3. Just a minute, I will download it and I will show you. So what is the conclusions made from that? What is your observation discussion? All of you do it. Everybody has to do it. So open it book. Do you all open the book? I want to know. Still many people not join, I don't know. Gayatri join with a number. You don't know what is the meaning. Every time. Yesterday also saying. That's what it is. Saying promise is very easy. Making promise is very easy. Standing on promise is only very tough. Okay. So what is your conclusions? Read all of you. Everybody should read. To show that metals are good conductors of heat and have high melting points. That is what is our target. Am I right, everybody? All of you? So our kitchen, we are using many metals. You can see that copper bowls, silver bowls, understanding mixed metals, like we can take it. So alloying bowl, that is what German steel bowls basically, aluminum bowls and all we are using. So that and all what, how we are cooking, because metals are good conductors of what? All of you. Metals are good conductors of heat. Okay. See, for every physical property, you'll be having, of course, it is a combined physical properties for both metals and non-metals. But if you notice everywhere there is activity. But you people should write the conclusions for every physical property. Do you understand, guys? All of you? Yes? So that is what it is. As I told you, you can surprise that the wire about 2 kilometer length can be drawn from how many grams of gold? Yesterday I told you or not? Because of ductility. Have you remember that? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
So everything will be turned up into the question. So this is what now the activity shows that metals are good conductors of heat and have high melting points. So the best conductor of heat, again what? Who is the best conductor of heat? Silver
Silver and copper.
Silver are followed by copper, and lead and mercury is basically they are the poor conductors of heat. Please mark this. Lead and mercury, they are the comparatively poor conductors of heat. There will be an exemption. So please be always make these points very clear. That is why every word is very important. Now you can see all of you. So the take aluminum or copper wire, clamp this wire on a stand as shown in the figure. Fix a pin to the free end of the wire using wax. Fix a pin at the free end of the rod with the wax. So heat the wire with a spirit lamp, or you can take whatever it is. So now if you observe here, I am providing heating the rod at this corner. So what will happen? Particles will start vibrating. Free electrons will start move. So that energy will transfer to this end of the wire. That is what free end of the wire. So what is the changes? You people notice it, guys. Heat the wire with a spirit lamp, candle or a burner near the place where it is clamped. Now, what do you observe after some time? Guess and tell me. What is your observation, guys? Mr.
The
Pugal
heat is
will say. Pugal, speak.
fire.
What is your observation, Pugal? After some time. After some time, something will happen, guys. What will happen? The iron nail will start. Yes, please.
Melt.
Iron nail will start fall down. Why? Because the wax will melt.
Wax will
I attached this iron nail with the help of wax so that the iron nail will fall down, because on heating this metal rod for a long time, Understanding, rod will never melt, but due to transferring of heat, who will melt here? Yes, guys? Wax will melt.
Wax.
Understand? So that the iron will fall down. So note your observations. Does the metal wire melt? Is the metal wire melt? Yes? No. Understanding?
No,
I'm
sir.
keeping this metal rod for
No,
a
sir.
long time. It does not melt. Understanding? If you want to it does not melt. What does it mean that it has high what?
High melting point.
So what is our target of this activity? To understanding, to show that metals are good conductors and as well as metals having what? High melting point. Okay, everybody clear? Please respond. That is what. So who is having comparatively low, bad conductors or poor conductors of electricity? Everybody? So
Lead and mercury.
conductors of heat. Poor conductors of heat is mercury and silver. So please, sorry, lead. Lead symbol is what? Pb. And mercury symbol is Hg. So please write it and learn it. So next, does the metals will conduct electricity? So we can conduct this activity. Just that's what I said. So between these two clips, you can put whatever the metals you have. So you can notice it. If the bulb will glow, they are the conductors. If the bulb is not glowing, they are not the conductors. Am I right or wrong, guys? Yes or no? All of you. So that is what. So you have seen the wires that carry the current in our homes have a coating of polyvinyl chloride, PVC. PVC are a rubber-like material. Why are electric wires coated with such substances? What is the reason? Anybody? Because this PVC is a what actually? They are the insulators. Understanding? So they are the insulators. So they will protect us from the what? Protect us from the electric shock. Understanding? They are protecting from electric shock. So that is what is the importance of insulation. So are you clear, everybody? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Next. So next property is, again, here itself I will say, this is what it is. Do they produce a sound when, what happens when a metal strike a hard surface? It is also general property. If you go to the temple, temple bell. If you go to the school, school bell. If you go to the mosque, there is another kind of they'll make some kind of message after every certain times. You can see that if you go to the church, there will be a bell. So everywhere there will be a bell in many places we can notice it. So that is all made with the what, everybody? The bells are made with the what? Metals only. So generally, metals, they can produce the sound on striking a hard surface. That is why we will say metals are what actually? They are sonorous in nature. That is why we can say school bells are made up of what? Everybody. School bells are made up of? Yes, please. Metals. That is why. So the production of sound from school bells and the old railway station, you can see nowadays railway station we are not seeing that. Have you noticed that still if you watch any kind of old movies, railway station they will hit like similar to our school bell. Nowadays our school also we are using electric bell only. Am I right, guys? All of you. So still if you go to the government school, there is a one big iron metal rod is hanging, and they'll take another kind of rod like substance and they'll keep on hitting for the bell. Am I right, guys? Will all experience it or not? Yes or no, guys? That is what. So can you now say why the school bells are made up of metals? Because they are in what? Sonorous in nature. So the property, they'll produce the sound when they will hit by the hard surfaces. When any kind of hard surface will come in contact with this metal, they'll produce a sound. But not all. I'm saying you generally. So that is why musical instruments are designed from the what? Everybody. Because of sonorous nature, musical instruments is designed from where? Please respond. Instruments
Metals.
are designed by metals.
Metals.
Understanding? So you can see that even the strings, if I take a guitar or if I take an whatever it is, if we are having, so everything, the metal, the strings are made up of metals only because they are they are good producers of sound. So that property is only we used to called as sonorousness. Sonorousness, or we can say sonority. Okay, sonorosity. Please write SONOROSITY, sonorosity. So this is what is the next property of metal. I think this is the property number I. Am I right, guys? Check it, everybody. All of you. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Next. There is a most important property. That is what I said. I said in our home we are using a not pure silver, not pure copper also. So there is a metals, there is a bowls, utensils which we are using in our home. That is what I said. Like German silver, like what is that I said? The steel bowls, the steels, you can notice it. So steel is a what, everybody? Steel is basically is a what, all of you? Is a alloy.
Alloy.
So that is what is the last property, J. Metals. Again, chapter number 1 we studied like methods for controlling the corrosion. That is what one of the step for protecting metals from the corrosion is what, guys? Formation of alloys. Am I right, everybody? All of you. So
Yes,
it
sir.
is very interesting to note that, remember, iron metal which is hardly used as a pure state. So basically iron is highly corrosion in nature. So that is why you can see it is used in the form of steel, okay, which is an alloy, iron with carbon. So steel is alloy, it is made up of what, guys? Iron with carbon, so that steel is used to make utensils, buildings, bridges, etc., etc. And the protection of alloys depend upon the constituting metals. Different alloys made with the different metals. So if you notice it, if they will make it into alloys, their corrosion resistivity will increases. The entire properties are different from individual metal. So that is why the bridges and all what we are saying, it is not made with iron. Actually, it is made with what, guys? Steel. Clear, everybody? So because they are corrosive resistance, they have high corrosive resistance than pure steel. So that is why pure steel pure iron. So pure iron we will mostly not prefer to use in many places. So that is what you have to remember. Now, if you are having a tooth decay, if you go to hospital, so their doctor will fill your cavity with something, so which is we used to called as amalgam. Understanding? So amalgam is also a what actually? It is the alloys of mercury. Understanding, all of you? Basically, mercury is very poisonous metal, but we will use it for tooth decay, the tooth treatment, amalgam. That is what mercury is mixed with some other. Understanding? So it's the alloys of mercury with other metals. Alloys of mercury with other metals. That is what we used to call as. What is that, everybody? Mercury will combine with other metals. We used to call as amalgam. For example, sodium combine with the mercury, then it will be called as what? Sodium amalgam. Are you clear what I'm saying, everybody? Clear, everybody? So means, what does that mean? Sodium with the metal called as what? Sodium with the metal called as mercury. So that is what it is called as actually alloy. So alloys, actually it's like a remedy for metals for protecting themselves from the corrosion. So this is all about what is the physical properties of metals. Of course, physical properties of non-metals later we'll study. Now, directly we'll go with the Next concept called as, what is the concept all of you? Chemical properties of metal. Now from here, it is extremely important each and everyone have complete attention from this chemical properties. Everybody, shall we start now? Mr. Omar, are you there in the meeting? Harini, Johan, I want to know either listening or yes. Mr. Kaushik, are you writing the notes or not? Yes. Mr. Kaushik, can you hear me? I'm calling you only. And Mr. Omar also. You respond or not?
Yes, sir. I'm here only, sir.
Yes, Mr. Kaushik. He is not listening. Okay. So write it now. Chemical properties of metals. Chemical properties of metals. Chemical properties of metals. So as we know that chemical properties of the metals mainly depend on one thing. As I told you, you study in even 9th class. So whatever the metal, the behavior of the metal is depend upon one thing. That is what? Electronic structure. So the structure of electrons arrangement. So all of you keep it in mind. Electronic structure structures will decide the chemical properties of elements. So on the basis of electronic configuration and structure, the packing of the particles, that is what the metals have different chemical properties. So that is what the first property, all of you keep it, everybody. Chemical properties of, must take the notes. I want to check it today afternoon. I will check it everybody's notes. Everyone has, you simply attending namesake means there is no use. You must need to take the notes properly. Every point has to be written so that your mind should always remember that. So all the chemical properties are depends on only one thing. Either it is a metals or non-metals, doesn't matter. It will be depends on the concept called as what? All of you. Depends on the electronic configuration. Am I right or wrong? So electronic configuration. So electronic configuration only will decide what is the chemical properties of metals. Now, as we already studied metal definition, so metals are called as, what is that guys? First, electropositive elements or electronegative elements. Fastly, metals are electropositive elements. Why guys? They will donate the electrons or they will receive the electrons. Fastly, they will
Donate.
donate the electrons. So that is why they're having a tendency of loss of electrons. They are ready to lose the electrons. They are ready to lose the electrons. So that is why they are actually, and after loss the electrons, they will attain what charge? Positive charge or negative charge? Everybody. After loss of electrons, they will attain what? Positive charge or negative charge? They will attain the
Positive charge.
positive charge. Understanding? So they will attain the positive charge. That is why they are called as electropositive in nature. So electropositive nature of metals is because of their, understanding, low value of ionization. So if people don't know what is ionization, I will teach you now. Means they can lose the electrons very easily. Okay, so please write it everybody. Metals are electropositive in nature. So right, metals have a tendency. So tendency of what? They have a desire or they have a tendency. They have a habit. Habit of what? What is the metal's habit? They have a tendency to lose electrons. Okay. So that is what it is, the first property. So that is why they will lose the electrons and they will acquire something. What they will acquire, guys? They will acquire, yes, please. They will acquire what? Positive charge. So that is why they are called, because of that, they are called as what? Everybody. They are called as electropositive in nature. Okay, everybody. So that is. So this electropositive nature of metals, why sir? What is the reason? The reason behind it, the reason is only for CBQs. The reason is they are having, okay, their low value of ionization, low value of ionization energy. So immediately another doubt. What do you mean by ionization energy? So let us understand once again. So all of you keep reading. Mr. Arun Kailash, are you listening? Writing the notes or not? Kaushik, I will remove you from the meeting if you are not responding. At least if you are listening, you can respond in chat, correct? Idiot fellow. Writing the notes or not? Sleeping. Ionization energy. So let us see that. What do you mean by ionization energy? So as I mentioned here, what is the reason for the electropositive nature, guys? Metals. What is the reason? The reason is they have low value of ionization energy. So what does it mean, sir, this? Let us see. Ionization energy means, all of you remember, 11th class chemistry, you will study what is ionization energy. And each element has different ionization energy. So that is why, of course, all the metals have low ionization energy. But do you think that in that every metal has same ionization energy? Everybody?
No,
Yes, please. No. So that is what you have to remember. So ionization energy means, write it, is the minimum amount of energy is the minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from outermost cell. Outermost cell we used to call something. What is that?
balance.
Valence.
Balance.
Outermost cell of an isolated gaseous neutral atom to form positive ions. So the energy which is required, the minimum energy required to remove an electron from an outermost cell is only called as ionization energy. So metals, they need less energy to remove the electron or more energy to remove the electron? Everybody?
More energy to remove electrons.
Less energy. That is why they are having low ionization energy. That is why they can easily lose the electrons. Understand, Harisaras? They do not have more. They have a very less energy. Less ionization energy is required to remove the
Yes.
electron. That is why they have a low value of metals. Is they are electropositive in nature. What is the reason they are electropositive in nature? Because they have low value of ionization energy. Clear? Yes, please. So,
Yes, sir.
because of this electropositive character, they can lose electrons easily or very hard to remove the electrons. They can lose the electrons very easily. Clear, everybody? So,